The man bit the fish to death and stuffed it into his backpack. Since this species of fish is protected by law, Pete asked him about it. However, the man gave him a vague answer. Pete decided to check his permit, but the man still wouldn't give him a straight answer. Pete had no choice but to search his belongings. Just as he was about to do so, the man started threatening him. Pete assumed the guy had some mental issues, so he didn't take his words seriously. In the end, all he found was a Bible. Pete immediately demanded to know where the permit was, but the man told him to follow him back to the camp to get it. On the way, Pete asked for the man's personal information, but the man had no intention of answering any more questions. When Pete followed him to the camp, what he saw left him stunned. He discovered the man had a twin brother. While Jack was looking for the permit, Hunter's behavior caught Pete off guard. Before long, Jack told him the permit was somewhere else and asked Pete to follow him to find it. Pete felt like he should get out of there because these men posed a threat to him. But as a forest ranger, he had a duty to handle the situation, so he had no choice but to follow them to get the permit. They arrived at a dried-up riverbed. Then Jack pulled some letters out of a tree hollow and admitted they didn't have a permit at all. In the end, Pete could only write them a citation. After Pete left, Hunter immediately burned the ticket. At that moment, Pete was about to report back to the station, but he realized his phone was missing. Thinking back on how strange everything had been that day, he decided to get out of there immediately. But he had no idea that danger was already closing in. When he reached an open clearing, Pete's horse started acting strange. While trying to escape, Pete was knocked out by an impact. When he came to, he found them eating the horse raw. Pete planned to wait until they left before making his escape, but their sense of smell was incredibly sharp.
Caleb, you smell that? I smell the government, man.
Then they surrounded him. Seeing no other option, Pete called out to them, but they ignored him and launched an attack instead. Pete finally managed to break through their circle. Then he spotted a cabin, but they weren't about to give up the chase. When Pete woke up again, the cabin's owner was already gone. That is when he heard noises coming from the roof. They had tracked him down, but something inside the cabin seemed to frighten them, so they could only shout from outside telling Pete to come out. Seeing that Pete had no intention of leaving, Jack immediately urinated down the chimney. He was trying to force Pete out with the smoke blowing back inside. After a brutal fight, Pete managed to escape, but more danger lay ahead.